Hello and welcome to this week's podcast. I hope you've had a great week so far. So today's episode focuses on the subject of small talk, and in the final section I give you a suggestion of how you can improve your British accent in just one day. So let's crack on. Section 1. Is small talk actually small? As March unfolds and spring breathes new life into our days, opportunities for small talk abound in various everyday scenarios. Picture yourself standing in line at your local cafe, waiting to order your morning brew amidst the soft hum of conversation. It's in these seemingly mundane moments that the art of small talk truly shines. Whether you're catching up with classmates, chatting with fellow coffee enthusiasts, or exchanging pleasantries with the barista, these interactions form the fabric of our social tapestry. Before you get to the deep and meaningfuls, you need to begin with the first steps of the dance. Small talk is the first stage of sussing someone out, getting to know someone when the stakes are low, with the chance to establish a common bond and a deeper relationship. Whether you're looking to make a sale, make friendships, or simply to pass the time, you'll need to get comfortable with this skill. To be successful at small talk, you'll need to A. Know what to say to encourage chat, and B. Know how to read a conversation, and if it's going in an uncomfortable direction, have a polite exit strategy. Some of the best opportunities to practice your small talk are in places where there are natural excuses for leaving or cut-offs. Travel situations are a really good example. Airports, sitting on the bus, waiting at the taxi rank. These are all situations where there is an obvious end point to the conversation and no need to come up with an excuse to leave. Small talk can lead to uncovering some interesting information and opportunities. Remember, it may be the only human interaction someone may have in the day. The value in small talk cannot be underestimated. So why not indulge in a bit of small talk this week? Section 2. Can I get good at small talk? So in the previous section, I introduced the importance of small talk. Today, I'd like to offer a practical method to help those who aren't as comfortable indulging in chatter. The process is called the Ford method, and it's something you could keep in mind if you can't think of how to open or continue the flow of conversation. Ford is actually an acronym, which stands for F for family, O for occupation, R for recreation, and D for dreams, FORD, and each being a topic you could introduce into your small talk. Now, I'm not going to go into this method in detail here, as I've found a video that explains it in a really constructive way, with lots of suggestions of how to integrate the different topics naturally and easily. And I hope it also serves to get you thinking how these topics could arise in your daily routines. For example, I wouldn't particularly feel comfortable talking about family as an initial topic of conversation, unless it was in a situation which obviously lends itself to the subject, such as waiting to drop off or pick up children at nursery or at school. It would feel totally normal then to discuss kids or siblings in this type of situation. Likewise, chatting about family members at weddings or other family gatherings would make total sense. So I'm going to put the video link in the show notes. It's only about 7 minutes long, but it's well worth the watch. I hope you enjoy it. Section 3. What questions to avoid in your small talk to stop awkward conversations? Now, this isn't a suggestion to avoid certain topics like religion or politics in your small talk. I'm sure you've heard that advice before. This is a slightly subtler way of approaching your small talk conversations so the chat doesn't get backed into a corner and end up feeling awkward and difficult. The success of small talk is ultimately reliant on your sensitivity to the person you're conversing with. We want to put someone at ease and be put at ease ourselves. This isn't an interview situation. It should be a relaxed chat that's enjoyable and with the potential, depending on the situation, to lead to deeper connections. What we don't want to do is start with questions that offer only a specific answer. These are known as absolute questions. An example of this would be, what's your favourite football team? Now, obviously, if you've just finished a five-a-side match and are chatting with a couple of opposition players, then this question would be totally fine. However, in a more general situation, this is a type of question that demands a specific answer. The problem being, what if you've no interest in football? And what if you don't have a favourite team? How do you then respond? If you don't have an answer, this can make you feel awkward and you panic as you feel you're not going to answer the question correctly. You may freeze and struggle to come up with any answer at all. Ultimately, this will stop the conversation stone dead, leaving everyone uncomfortable and a little bit embarrassed. Obviously, more confident speakers will handle these types of questions deftly, both in responding to them and expertly changing the subject if they sense any awkwardness or hesitancy. It may be worth considering practicing a catch-all response you could use if you're ever faced with an absolute question that you have no answer for. Section 4. The business of small talk. In business, you'll find yourself in numerous situations where the ability to engage in small talk could not only pass the time, but also lead to career-enhancing new relationships and unearthing exciting new opportunities. You could be chatting with a receptionist as you wait for an interview, talking with delegates after a conference speech, bumping into your boss at the vending machine and grabbing a few moments of casual chat. Being prepared with some stock topics and questions and knowing some simple lines and phrases to use as responses can help build your confidence with small talk. Now, I've recorded a few sample questions that you might hear in similar business situations. I've left a gap after each question so you can respond with an answer and perhaps a follow-up question yourself. So why not have a go at preparing some example answers and record your answers in the gaps? I'd love to hear your responses. I'll put the link to the questions in the show notes, but it's at learningbritishaccent.com/business-small-talk. Section 5. How you can improve your British accent in just a single day. Now, everyone asks me, how long does it take to get a British accent? It's the second most requested answer after, how do I get a British accent? Now, my usual response is to reply with another question. How much work are you prepared to put in? But I've realised this is such a deflating answer. If you're like me, you want to see immediate results ASAP. You need that instant gratification to give you the motivation to continue with the journey. You know it won't be plain sailing, and you'll hit plateaus where you won't see and feel any progress, so to get an initial quick win can make a real motivational difference. A quick win that you can hold on to when the learning gets tougher, and you need to remember that you did make progress and you can do so again. So how can you improve in a single day? Now the key is to identify what would make you sound more British when you speak. What gives you away as a non-native speaker of RP British English? This will vary depending on your native language. Assuming that you're using British language and vocab, making changes to an aspect of your pronunciation, and I'm referring now to individual British accent sounds, can really improve your spoken English. So what should you focus on? The one sound I hear repeatedly being mispronounced is the TH sound, both the voiced and the unvoiced TH sounds. For so many native languages, this particular sound really causes a problem and immediately identifies you as a non-native speaker. Working on these two sounds will make an immediate impact on your British accent speech. And a day's work on the TH, learning how to correctly produce the sound and practicing it with various words and sentences will make a noticeable difference. Now, if you don't know how to make these TH sounds and you'd like to watch some videos to teach you how, you can get this with the British Accent Bundle. You can learn the TH sounds and all the different sounds found in the RP British accent at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. If you have a moment, please do rate and review the podcast, giving it a 5 stars if you could. Apparently, it really does help make the podcast more visible, so it is very much appreciated. And again, if you'd like some help with your RP British accent, don't forget about the British Accent Bundle, available at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. Links in the show notes. Well, have a lovely weekend, and I look forward to your company next week. Bye for now.